to Donna's Dreamworks, Paper Dreamer here on YouTube. And today I have a haul that came from Craft Outlet. So my order got here. And then we're going to go down and work on my wreath for my living room wall. Remember I said I was going to use burlap. And this is the burlap, if I can reach it, this is the burlap that I picked. It is called a frayed edge burlap. You can't really tell that too well when it's in the package here, but I did open one and you can see it is exactly what it says. It has frayed edges. So we're going to see how this works out. I'm not sure it's going to work out. I'm going to be using the 30-inch ruffle, and we'll go around and see what kind of wreath I can make out of that. I did also get a work wreath that I just dropped ribbon on the floor, and I got the work wreath in burlap also, so that will help us camouflage some of the, it looks like it's a fairly transparent burlap, so I want to camouflage it as much as possible. I did get 3 ribbons to use. While I have this here, I'll show you. I also got a white work wreath. Now this is the pencil work wreath. You can see these are the thinner ties, where this is the more bushy of the work wreaths. Okay, excuse me, get the ribbon that I threw on the floor. I did get 3 ribbons to use. This one is a burlap with burgundy stars. And this one is a burlap with, it looks real red here, but when it's put next to burgundy, it's more of a burgundy color than it is the red. So if I get closer to the camera, I think you can see it is darker than a regular fire engine red. And then I got a straight burlap. So these 3 I'm planning to use to make a funky bow and also to put some ribbons in the wreath. So other than that, I also picked up some items to have for a Easter wreath. And this is the mesh I got for that. I think it's so cute. And now if I put it up here, you can see that it has the greens, the purples, the blues, and the pinks. It has all the colors. And I got 2 ribbons to go with that. I think I have another ribbon downstairs, and when I go down to make the wreath, I will look for it, and if I have it there, I'll show you. But these 2 I got to work with that wreath. Isn't this a pretty one? And this is just the same blue, but it's a really pretty shade of blue. I love this blue. And guess what's in the middle? It's an Easter wreath, right? This is the little bunny heads from Craft Outlet. They're on sale. I don't think, let me see 1 second. I think I've got my slip here. Ugh. Yeah, let's see if I can see. $6.95 for the bunny head. And it's a good size. It's really a good size. I can't get it all in the same shot. Put it next to my head. This one is called the blue polka dots for obvious reasons, but it'll look really cute with this blue and with that mesh, because that blue that's in the mesh is very close to the blue of his tie. Okay. His tie, I guess, it's blue, but it's got a hat, so it could be her, could be him, her, it. But so that's what I got. So, whoops, excuse me, I hit the camera. Let me just get around. Okay, that's what I got from Craft Outlet. It wasn't a big order. but it was enough to get going on this living room wreath. Now, the other thing I did do is go to Michael's, and I wanted something to use on this wreath, and I picked up 2 floral garlands, I guess you call them. And let me see if I can get them out of the bag here. Okay, this one is really cute. It's almost like stuck in the bag. Now, wouldn't you know, one little tiny piece is going to be stuck in the plastic and is keeping it from coming out. There we go. This one is like a dogwood. It really looks pretty. And it's obviously primarily pink, but you see it has some darker edges on the flowers. Because the bows, as you saw, are going to be with the burgundy. So I wanted something that might go with that. And then the other one is more of a rose. But if you look at these roses, the inside of the rose is really very close to being burgundy. And that's really pretty. So I'm going to try them both but on and see which one I think looks the best. And then we'll take it from there. Now, I haven't been just sitting here the last few days, although, as I mentioned, we're a little slow in getting started because of having been ill. But I'm feeling really good now, and I think that's all past. And so at the last few days, I have done a few projects. I think you can see them over my head here. That's my poor little lonely lantern that we showed you before that is now decorated. And I'm going to, before I go downstairs, I'll get behind the camera and give you a peek of what I did for that. And then if you look behind it, right over about here, you'll see the 3-tiered tray, which has also been decorated. So I did that. I also did my baker's rack in my family room and the table in the family room. I'll give you a little peek of those two. And then before the evening, I'll probably put this up tonight. You probably won't see it until tomorrow. Today is Wednesday. And if I get the wreath completed, I'll get it up tonight. But I want to come back and show you both this one and the living room a little bit later when the lights come on, because it's really pretty when the candle is lit and the fairy lights come on around it. And out in the family room, the baker's rack is lit and the lighthouse inside the lantern is lit. So I'll be back. When I get behind the camera, we'll take you a little walk around and show you what these two things look like and the ones in the family room. And then we'll go down and work on the wreath. Back in a minute. Okay, here is the lantern. And you can see it's on the dining room table. I used the reds and yellows, and I brought in some black because I love yellow with black for the funky bow and the bow swag. You see, the bow swag is primarily just some tropical looking plants, like maybe a little bamboo. And then if you look down at the bottom, you can see that they're hibiscus. These look like chrysanthemums in the corner, some daisies, and then some more of that tropical greenery here inside the lantern. And on the very base, you can see I do have red, white, and blue pip berries, and they stay basically all year long. And you can see here that it's pretty all the way around. It really came out nice. I didn't show you my doing it because it's basically the same materials that I had last year. I just put them back on. But that is the lantern swag. And I do have to give another shout out to Arlene. I said Arlene over Country Craft Creations. Well, it's not. It's Arlene's Country Craft Corner. And I should know that. I think I've seen every one of her videos. She's extremely talented and a lovely lady. And she's lots of fun to watch. So if you haven't seen it, make sure you get over and look at her lantern swags. And the reason I'm giving her a shout out is she is the inspiration for my using lanterns as a decorating piece. I've made candle rings, centerpieces, and such for years, but I never really utilized lanterns as a form of decorating. And she started with the decorating with the lanterns, and since she's done that, I have 3 now, and 1 here on the dining room table. And this red that you see here is there to bring in the same red that's in the curtains. Okay. So anyway, I have 3. 1 that's here on the dining room table, the 1 that's in on the family room table, and 1 that's outside. My outside has not been done or touched yet. I actually took the lights from that to do my baker's rack, so now I have to get some more lights. Okay, so let's pan around this way, slowly as to not make you ill. And we'll take a look at the 3-tiered tray. Give you an oversized look first. And you see it has to look pretty all the way around because it's sitting in front of a mirror. So you get to see the front and the back of it all the time. And it's the same colors basically. If we look at the first layer, oh, my butterfly tipped. There we go. We have some more, these look like sunflowers, some greenery. These are cute little blossoms that I don't know what they are, but they're really darling, I think. They're just cute. And over here, you know, I think that there has been a kitty up here walking and sniffing because the butterflies are tipped over. This little hibiscus is actually sitting inside of a cup. And I really can't see, you can't see the cup too well unless I pull down the leaves. This is called Franciscan ware, and I have a whole set of that. It's quite pretty. Okay, if we move up to the next level, these are kind of a green pom-pom type flower, and the reds and oranges, and another butterfly. And we have a parrot who's here and he's looking up top. And coming around here, we see some more sunflowers and some more of those little red flowers. Over here, I have a canning jar which has been painted and has a little arrangement in it. And then moving up to the top level, we have the other parrot who's looking down at this one. So it's in his birdhouse. That was birdhouse from Michael's that I painted. We just have a vase here with a little arrangement in it. Some more of those yellow sunflowers, you can see them in the back. And we have a lot of hibiscus bushes in our yard. So this is a cute little piece. This is a burlap bag that has a floral arrangement in it. So, excusing the camera lady who keeps getting in this shot, kind of hard not to when you're in front of a mirror. I'll give you a pull back and give you a perspective of the two. See, this is my china cabinet area. And over here, next to it is the dining room table. So that's it, guys. I'm going to take you out and show you the baker's rack, and then we'll go downstairs and get to work on that wreath. So I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, folks, here's the baker's rack. And as you can see, I have it decorated with my lighthouses collection. And there are lights all along the top of the rack, and some of these, the three big lighthouses also light up. So I will come back later and show you. And up at the top is the ship that was my husband's father's. We got it from years and years ago when we were young marrieds, so it's old because we're old marrieds now. And then I have a lot of these lights that have titles. This one is Ponce de Leon Inlet in Florida, and this is Portland Head, Maine. And then if we move down the next level, you see a lot more. I love the house on this one. Look how intricate they made that with all the windows. And this big one lights up too. So this one and the two big ones up here, that one and that one, light up at 5 o'clock tonight. So I'll get back and show you a picture. And if we work our way down to the bottom, we just have a pineapple lantern with a little ring around it. As I mentioned, the colors primarily in this room are in the blues or tropical. I love this sign. Life is not measured by the number of breaths we take, but the moments that take our breath away. And then if we move around, I'm going to have to go around this way. I will take you and show you. As you can see, it's quite daylight now. Over here on the table, this is my other lantern for inside. And this lantern has, see if I can get you in close enough. This has sand in the bottom of it. Looks a little funky in the daylight because of course you can see all the wires because there's fairy lights in there. And the fairy lights go up inside the lantern as well as wrap around it, and they're blue. And then the lantern swag here is again some tropical flowers and bows. And it really, you see if you pan over here, matches, the ribbons match the ribbons on the wreath. And I made this wreath last year and just put it back out. Okay, so I'm going to head down to the wreath area, and I'm going to cut some of my 30-inch ruffles so you don't have to sit and watch me do that. And then I'll be back and we'll get busy making the wreath. So I'll see you in just a few minutes. Okay, here we are back again, and I've cut my 30-inch pieces, and I'm just going to start by opening up these ties on the bottom of this frame and cutting off the tag. I'm not sure how this is going to work And it may be a failure, that we'll have to get some other kind of mesh. I do have some plain 21-inch mesh that I can always use if I need to. Okay, so let's start. And I'm going to start by just going up the middle. And that's quite a, oh, guess who's here? Is this, now, is she going to be helpful or what? What do you think? I think she just really wants to eat the mesh. Chelsea, you have to get down. Yeah. How am I supposed to do this? I don't know. I don't care. And I'm just going to put this in and go around one good time because obviously we're going to open them up again. Oh, that might work. She's going to be very helpful and sit right there. Yeah. Okay. It's kind of tricky to get the ties around them because the mesh is kind of okay. I think it might work. Let's keep on going. It's a good thing I don't have the glue gun on. She would have had a hot seat. She does like to jump up on here and just kind of explore to see what's going on. How did I get this one all twisted under there? It wasn't easy. Okay. Continuing on. So, anyway, what's everybody been doing? Now I have got to make an Easter wreath because I got all that pretty Easter mesh. Oh, and I did say I was going to look here to see if I had another Easter ribbon. Not a full one, but I can get a few pieces, maybe 3 pieces off of that to go with the funky bowl. That'll be good. This is actually filling in better than I thought it would. It's such a loose weave. I thought that it was really going to be something you could see right through, but I think the fact that the ruffles are 30 inches is giving it some depth. And I usually take the two of them and kind of stand them up together. These don't really lend itself to that too well. But I do want to spread them out as much as I can. it is certainly going to give it kind of a rustic look, isn't it? I'm sorry, I'm not talking loud enough. I apologize. I've heard this before. I tend to talk to myself instead of the camera when I'm working. I do apologize. I showed you the St. Patrick's wreath that I put together just with some mesh that I had here. And I did find some, when I was taking down my spring items, I found some green chrysanthemums. So I'm probably going to go back and add those to that wreath. But that won't go out until after Valentine's Day. Got to keep the seasons a little bit in the right order. How many of you saw that moon this morning? They called it a blue moon, blood moon, whatever. There was a lunar eclipse. Well, I live on the west coast of Florida. We did get a view. Ours started here about 6:45. And it was actually so low on the horizon that you didn't get to see it for too long before it was actually setting, or it was below the horizon. But we did get to see it start to turn red, and it was quite interesting to see it start out as a big full moon, and then it had got a bump on the top of it. So you could see that something was beginning to cover it. And then after a bit, maybe about 7 o'clock or a little after, you could really see the color start to change. So that was quite spectacular, and I think it's something that's not going to happen again in my lifetime. So, of course, I'm an early riser. I'm up usually before 5:30 every morning, but I always say, don't call me after 8 o'clock at night. Now, all of you youngsters out there with your little kids and stuff, you're still busy at that time of day, and but I like the early morning. I think it stems for the fact that I'm a retired RN, and I had to be at work early in the morning for so many years that I just am used to waking up. But I also had children who woke up very early in the morning, and really we never had much of an issue with them going to bed, because by the time they stopped in the evening, they were done in. Once they stopped, that was it. So I actually had one who did the joke we all hear, fell asleep in his dinner. I guess he just had been playing a little too hard that day. Well, never too hard, but he'd been playing hard. But he's 50 years old now, so I should say, when he gets a little older like his mother, you may fall asleep in your dinner again. But right now, he's got his children, and they're all busy. We're getting ready to watch the Super Bowl this weekend, and I know you'll all have something to say about it, but I am rooting for the New England Patriots. But then for the first 40 years of my life, I lived in Hamilton, Massachusetts, so I think probably I'll always be a Patriots fan. You know, the only thing is, I just finished telling you how I get up early and kind of go to bed early. or go to sleep or fall asleep early. And the game doesn't come on until after 6. Okay, I have finished the bottom row. I'm now going to start with the top row. This is kind of cute. I'm liking this really rustic look. Let me just go around and open up the rest of these. Okay. I do like the commercials. I saw a preview of one of them, I guess the Today Show, which I don't normally watch, but they were doing previews of the Super Bowl commercials, and I did happen to see the one from M&M's, and that was really funny. So it may be the best part of the game, you know. And of course, I'm sure I haven't seen it yet. I think they do a, yes, in fact, I think I saw some of a show talking about all of the commercials from the previous Super Bowls and rating them and coming down with the top 10. I tell you, these advertising executives that come up with that, my husband says some of them must have a screw loose, because who could think of these things? Who could think of these things? But they're very creative people. And I'll be looking forward to seeing them. And of course, Justin Timberlake is going to be doing the halftime show, which is always quite a spectacular event. Happens about my bedtime, but I'll stay up and watch it. I don't know that I'll see the whole game. I might. But, irregardless, if I don't, somebody will go on and win the Super Bowl. Well, one of my children lives in Massachusetts, so we know who he's rooting for. The other one lives in Cleveland, so he hasn't had too much success with his football team. I think he's probably going to root for the Patriots too, but I don't know. He has a cottage that is only about an hour outside of, I think, Pittsburgh. It's in Ohio, but it's not. It's way down by it's in southern Ohio. So I'm sure that there's a lot of Pittsburgh fans down in that area. I just flipped this out and a big piece of the burlap came flying right up and into my hair. Almost there. Well, I'll be darned. I think I'm liking this. Sure is different. I don't think you can go wrong with the 30-inch ruffles. I don't know what that little wire is. Something. Well, what do you think? Look at that. I think that's great. I love it. Okay, I'm going to shut you off for a couple of minutes and cut some ribbons, and we'll come back and we'll make the funky bow. See ya. Okay, here we are back again, and I've got my ribbons cut. I did 30-inch because I'm going to have 10-inch tails, and I know that I will be trimming them because I like a funky bow. I like the multi-ribbon bow, the multi-ribbon of it, but I'm not a big fan of all of those tails. So lots of times I trim them. And you see I just put a dovetail on the end of this. And the way I do my dovetail is I matched my 3 ribbons together. I'm going to fold them in half. And generally speaking, I will go from the fold down to the point on the edge. But truthfully, I can honestly say I do it whichever way I can reach the right angle in order to make the cut. Okay, so let's start, and I'm going to just do this right in half and give myself a 5-inch loop. And this is going to be a toughie. Folks, this is going to be a toughie because this is very thick ribbon. I think that I'm going in the back here and turning this one around because this is single-sided ribbon. And these are all the heavier cloth type ribbon. So they're going to be a little tough to hold after a while, I think. And I'll make this one go the opposite direction. With 3 ribbons, you have 3 of each, so you end up with a 9-loop bow. And then we'll go on. And my husband in there yawning. Yawning, he's yawning. And I kind of try to pull my ribbons up a little bit. You know, I see the people who are using this Pro Bow, the hand, and I have to tell you, I think I had one of those probably, I don't know, I want to say 20 years ago. Were they around then even? Oh my. But I remember the one I had, I was not impressed. But again, of course, if it was 20 years ago, they have been substantially upgraded since then. And the main reason I wasn't impressed is because the pegs kept falling out of the holes. So, but I did make myself one of those ribbon holders, but I don't normally do that kind of a ribbon. Oh my goodness, wait a minute. That's the last one. This one's going this way. I think this is going to be a pretty bow. But these are getting kind of tight in my hand. So we can get this one twisted a little better. There we go. One more round. I would like a bow made out of all of this burgundy. It's a really pretty ribbon. And of course, the last one is covered with glitter. Glitter, glitter, glitter. So now I'm covered with glitter. But what's new? I don't think you can buy ribbon nowadays more than a few that aren't glittered. It makes a nice statement when they're done, but they sure do make a mess. Last one. That was this way, so this is going this way. Okay. Okay, I have a pipe cleaner. I'm going to go under my thumb. Under my thumb right in the middle. And I bring it around and go right between my fingers. And bring this one around, come right between my fingers. And now I'm going to pull. And this is heavy ribbon to get a good pull on. And there you go. A mess. So now, we'll make sure we got all of our loops. The loop here, hiding over here under the tails. I'm going to get that burgundy ribbon up front, kind of, because I like that to show. Okay, I'm not going to do a whole lot more of fiddling until I've got it on the wreath. So let's bring the wreath back and see where we'll put it. I think I like it right about there. See if I can get these down. I don't like to have my ribbon at the very top of a wreath. I like it a little bit off to the side. And I think our eyes are geared to look for the heaviness to be on the left. We read left to right. And so I usually have my ribbons somewhere just off the top on the left hand side, if I'm only going to use one ribbon. If I'm using more than one, obviously they would be spread around. Okay. And I can tell you right now, I don't think either one of those garlands is going to work on here, because I think they're going to be too pink with the burgundy ribbon. So I think what I might be going to do is put ribbons, some ribbons in the ribbon bundles in the pretty. I'm going to have to give it a haircut. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of all of these big tails, but this is really coming out pretty. I'm loving it. Isn't that pretty? What a statement. And this is going to look beautiful up on that wall. So I think what I'm going to do is to cut some more ribbons to make some ribbon bundles. Let me just try for the heck of it one of these just to see, satisfy my curiosity. See, I don't know. I'm thinking too pink. I'm going to put it on because it's only going to go on the ties, and hang it up and stand back and look at it for a little bit and see what I think. And we'll be back in a little bit and make up a decision if we're going to leave it or take it away. See you in a bit. Okay, I'm back. I've got this around. I kind of like it. I put it in the ribbon here. But what I'm going to do is to make some ribbon bundles to go in the inside ties. And I'm only going to use these two because I'm going to try to stay away from the other. This is a little bit quieter. So let's just see how this works. These are 14 inches. And we'll see if this kind of brings the color out. And you know, truthfully, I could have made them 12. So I'll probably be trimming these too. And I'm putting the 1.5 inch on top of the 2.5 inch. I think this is going to make it complete looking. And you just fold it in half, get it in the middle, and find the tie. I'm not opening them up this time. Generally I do, but I think these are so poofy that they don't need to be. And there's still quite a bit to work with. This ribbon lays nicely. Oh, I didn't do that one very well. My fingers aren't working. Oh, I think I'll go this way. Don't know if I can get another one in there. Let's see. Do I have another tie? Well, folks, you know, I'm liking this. I'm liking this. Okay, I'm going to hang it on the wall out here. Take a look at it. See if I need to add anything or take something away. But I'm really liking it. I think that little touch of the pink flower is it's going to be nice. They're not overpowering. All right, I'm going to hang it on the wall. I'll take you out and let you look at it. And we'll see if we call it done. Back in a second. Okay, guys. So, you see the lights on now. It's still not dark outside, but you can see how these lighthouses light up and the baker's rack lights up. And I'm going to move back this way, backing out, hoping not to fall over something. And over here, and you can see, whoops, almost fell over something. You can see the lighthouse that's lit up blue inside this lantern. Okay, huh? Right back. Gonna go show you the one in the kitchen. Here we are. Look how pretty. Look how pretty. And without seeing the gorgeous diva, well, you can see back up there, the lights are on there too. Nice, huh? I love it. I love it. And thank you, Arlen, for inspiring me to use lanterns as a decorating. All right, last thing you're going to see is the wreath all done on the wall. Back in a second. All right, guys, here it is on the wall. I think it came out fantastic. I love it. I'm just going to back up a little bit so you get the perspective. It's quite bright, so I'm trying to avoid the door that goes out to the family room. But you can see it sits above the couch, which is sort of a burgundy red. And let's see if I can bring us in just a little. There we go. How is that? Stop shaking. There. Okay, great. I think it turned out fantastic. I love, love, love. And I'll be back shortly and we'll work on maybe the Easter wreath. We'll talk to you. Everybody play nice now. Bye-bye.